I guess here we freaking go. Hi chat, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am bringing you a different style of video than I usually do. This isn't league, this isn't me introducing a new ball. This is going to be the top 10 bowling balls that I have thrown in the year of 2024. Now, I understand that 2024 isn't quite over just yet, but I don't believe that I'll be getting any new bowling balls in the next month. So figured that it would be safe if I made this list right now for you guys so that way I can get some more videos out. If you didn't know, every day in December, I do plan on posting some sort of bowling related content on my YouTube channel. So make sure that you guys are subscribed to my channel. Make sure you have the notifications turned on so you don't miss a video, and let's get into it. So as you guys know, I throw quite a few bowling balls. I've had quite a few bowling balls this year in 2024. Hopefully 2025 brings even more so that way I have even more to choose from. But I am super duper grateful for my Brunswick family who allows me to showcase some of their products for them, as well as Lizzie's Pro Shop who drills all of my equipment for me. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. And I would like to think that these are not in any particular order, but I feel like the lower half kind of can go wherever, and then the upper half can kind of like go wherever in the upper half. So I hope that makes sense to someone other than just me. Number 10, I'm going to be going with the Track Paragon Pearl. I loved the Paragon Solid. I loved the motion of this when I first got back into bowling in 2022. So when I got the Paragon Pearl, I had super high expectations with it. Although this is around the time where my wrist was starting to die out and I had to take a little bit of a break, the times that I did throw it, I got that super long, snappy motion that I remember from my Paragon Solid, and it did me so much good. Coming in at number 9, I have the DV8 Troublemaker Pearl. This was my first bowling ball that I had sent to me from DV8, and I was absolutely obsessed with this ball. It was actually the first symmetrical bowling ball that I did get, and I really didn't have the greatest expectations for it, if we're being completely honest, but I threw the heck out of this ball. I absolutely loved it. It gave me a motion that none of my ASIMs had previously given me, and it gave me a new idea, or gave me a new lens into bowling and how bowling balls could work. I had no idea that, you know, some of these balls would even work for me, or I could adjust my game to work for them. So this was something that opened up the gate for me into symmetrical bowling balls and got a little bit away from the ASIMs, although I do tend to gravitate towards them still. Coming in at number 8 is the Chill Pearl. This ball I got when my second cortisone shot with my wrist was in its prime. I threw the frick out of the Chill Pearl. I was hooking the lane, I was throwing straight. I could get that baby to come back from literally anywhere. I liked it so much that I did get a second one, and I do have it with my Sarge grip. Now that I have a couple of newer pieces, I don't find that I reach for that just as often, but when I do, it still hits the pins just as hard as it did when I was throwing my first 15-pounder. Again, loved this freaking ball. So many videos on it. Coming in at number 7, which is something that I actually got a year ago on this day today, which is November 22nd, the Violent Collision. So this kind of like falls out of the category, but I did throw this ball a literal ton at the very beginning of the year. I did tie my highest series, which is 744, with it in a local 700 tournament. I absolutely loved, adored, would do anything for the Brutal Collision, so I had super high expectations for the Violent Collision. I freaking loved this thing. I threw the living frick out of it. I have so many good shots, so many memories with this ball. I remember just being so excited when it got announced, when it got released, when I got it drilled. I was working on my game this time last year when I did get it drilled, but like I said, the beginning of this year, this was my go-to ball. Coming in at number 6 is the Brunswick Mesmerize. This is one of the first balls that they sent me home with. I absolutely loved when I switched to my Sarge grip. I didn't really know what to expect out of this, and then once I feel like I broke in that cover to this bad boy, oh my lord, it was always reliable. It still is always reliable. I still carry it around with me anytime that I go bowling. It just provides me with a motion that most of my other balls do not provide me with. It rolls a little bit earlier, and I swear this thing never stops freaking hooking, like ever. Moving on to the top 5 of this top 10 favorite bowling balls that I've thrown in the year of 2024 is the Track Criterion. Now, this is a newer ball. This is something that has provided me with a motion that I haven't seen recently. Like I mentioned, the Track Paragon Solid, the Track Paragon Pearl provided me with that super long, snappy motion. This Track Criterion is probably one of the biggest balls I've literally ever thrown. This Criterion provides me with very similar motion to the Paragon lines that I did throw. It might roll a little bit earlier, and I do believe that it has a little bit more overall hook to it, but this thing is a freaking monster. I know that I bowled this morning, I bowled last night, I had decent series each time, and I threw the Criterion every game, and I freaking love it. Like, I don't ever see myself retiring this ball out of my bag. Coming in at number 4 is the Hammer Arctic Vibe. I was so unbelievably excited to get this ball just because of its shelf appeal. I loved the colors of it. I thought that it was new, different, cool. I really had zero expectations for this. When I got it drilled, I was told that it wasn't going to do a whole lot of hooking, and this ball did exactly the opposite of that. I swear this ball has a GPS in it. I was able to control it from literally anywhere on the lane. I could stand as far left as I'm capable of getting, and it would come back. I could stand as far right. It was coming back from anywhere. This thing opened up the entire right side of the lane for me and struck a million. It carried everything. I am not kidding you. I did shoot my highest game ever with this ball, which is a 298. So other than its insane carry, that's why it is held close to my heart, because, you know, a new high score is always super fun. Coming in at number 3 is the Track Theorem. This, I still believe, should be ball of the year for 2024. I think that it is one of the bowling balls that everyone has continuously talked about for the entirety of the year. Track Theorem all the way. This thing provided me with so many strikes. It showed me so much success. It allowed me to have miss room, whether it was left, whether it was right. I could always rely on this. And for so long this year, it was the first ball out of my bag. No matter where I was bowling, no matter what the conditions were, it was always the first ball out of my bag. I still do have a Track Theorem now that has my Sarge Easter grip, and I still carry it around with me everywhere that I go. It might not be the first ball out of my bag anymore, but it is a perfect step down for me from my Criterion, so still all reliable. Coming in at number 2, if you guys have been watching my TikTok, my Instagram for a little while, not so much on YouTube because I kind of just started here, but if you've been watching my other social medias, you would know that I threw the Archetype Hybrid like I had never seen another bowling ball in my entire life. Like, I threw that even when I got back from taking the month of July off from bowling, the beginning of August. That was the first ball out of my bag. That was always like old reliable. And I know I say that about the Theorem, but they provided me with very similar motions. I think that the Theorem went a little bit longer for me, and the Archetype Hybrid ended up being a little bit more smooth, continuous motion. I loved this ball so much that I got a second one, and that was before I even switched to my Sarge Easter grip. I got a second one drilled identical to the first one because I never wanted to retire it. But yeah, number 2, 100% the Archetype Hybrid. And coming in at number 1 of my top 10 favorite bowling balls that I have thrown this year of 2024 is the Brutal Collision. I know, if you followed me for a while, especially on TikTok or Instagram, you would know, like, I've had the Brutal Collision for quite a while now. I was so excited to get it. I loved it to death. I threw that ball literally till it's dead. If I could still throw it right now, I would. I threw it at the beginning of the year, this year, before my wrist started getting too bad, and I was able to shoot at the time my highest game, which was 290, at a house that I do struggle quite a bit with. I just know that this ball was the first ball that I actually fell in love with, if you will. This is the first old reliable that I could ever have. I've joked 100 million times about if I could have a bag full of Brutal Collisions, I would never need another bowling ball again. This is one of the first bowling balls that had the HK22 in it, and it was chef's kiss. Like, the whole freaking 9. I loved me the Brutal Collision. That is all for today's video and my top 10 favorite bowling balls that I've thrown this year of 2024. I hope that you guys are able to see from these clips that I've inserted here a little bit of the evolution of my bowling style and how the bowling balls that I gravitate towards a little bit more kind of different in different respects. Now that I have this grip, I am very limited on what I can and cannot do, but I do plan on getting back into the lab to get some more lessons here really soon. So hopefully when I make this video at the end of next year, you guys are able to see even more changes. So if you guys guys like this, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Drop in the comments below if you want to see any other kind of videos like this. I am always open to your guys' ideas. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so you don't miss a video any day in December, because I am uploading every single day in December. Everything is linked in the description for you guys. My H5G merch, if you use the code Rutherford20, you'll save 20%. My TikTok, my Instagram, everything. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, dogs. Coming in at number three, what the hell are you doing?
Young and I that bottom buddy made it happen. I don't wanna make no friends, put me to my hands. Who we think he is in that brand new Benz? They should've knew I was coming. Just still a young and I knew I'd give me some money.